Hey everybody, I'm RT.
And I'm Tyler.
And we are sitting in the Vortic Watch Company studio talking about the military edition today. This is the military edition, 5th edition, and 2023 special edition. And every year, if you didn't know, on Veterans Day, which is November 11th, you can go to vorticwatches.com/military and order one of these watches. It happens again November 11th, which is Veterans Day, at 12 noon Mountain Time. And you can find all the information about it anytime at that same link, vorticwatches.com/military. But this year, we have some really special stuff to talk about. So we are making the 5th edition right here, which we're only making 20 this year. We made about 50 the last, 5 years. And then we have a special edition this year that we're only making 10. The 5th edition, again, we're only making 20. That will be 8,000, just like it was last year. The 4th edition was 8,000. And then we also have the special edition this year, and that will be 12,000, just like that last special edition we did. But let's talk about what these things are and how freaking cool they are. And we should probably put some gloves on because we can't touch the bronze. Tyler, can you tell us, let's start with the special edition because it's just awesome. So I'm wearing last year's special edition, which is bronze, so you can kind of see when you don't wear gloves and you touch bronze what it looks like. We made a few changes this year to the bezel and the crown, and the bezel and the crown are now made of Mokume. So what is Mokume?
Mokume is a Japanese technique for folding different colored metals together. And I just looked it up on Google to make sure that I give everyone an accurate definition. It is an ancient Japanese metalworking technique translated to mean wood eye or wood grain, by which layers of contrasting colored metals are fused together with heat and pressure and worked to produce a patterned mixed metal laminate.
It's just really freaking cool. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So what are it looks like Damascus steel. Most people are probably familiar with what Damascus steel looks like.
Damascus steel is a version of Mokume.
Oh, I see. Okay. But this is bronze and what else?
This is brass, copper, and nickel silver. So it's a tricolor Mokume.
Yep. And then the rest of the watch is bronze.
Yeah. So the case is bronze, bezel is the Mokume, and crown is the Mokume as well.
Yeah. Gosh, it's just the coolest thing. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Like when we made this last year, I thought this was the coolest watch we ever made. And now I think this is the coolest watch we ever made.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And we got the material, even though it's a Japanese technique, it's US made material. It's made by a guy in Michigan who's been insanely helpful, helping us learn more about finishing the material and machining the material. But the result so we did a little bit of finishing work on this.
Like some heat treating and different. Thane was messing around. I think he put something on Instagram about like he was baking cookies. Like he put a bunch of the bezels inside the oven and was trying to figure out what temperature it would show the colors better at.
Yeah, so the heat helps bring out the contrast between the different materials. Yeah. And then what'll be really cool is after you wear it for a while, right. You'll see the different materials patina at different speeds, I guess you could say. The brass should get a lot darker, so you'll see those streaks.
Yeah, it'll look more like this over time.
And just like the definition said, it's almost like a wood grain.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a wood grain.
It does kind of look like wood grain, especially if you kind of stare at it from a little ways away. It looks so cool on the crown too. So the other change, besides the bezel and the crown being made from Mokume, the other change that you'll probably notice between this one and the 5th edition is the steps on the lugs. So we can talk about the 5th edition too. And I mean, we don't really need gloves for this one. We're in gloves so we don't start the patina process on the bronze or the Mokume, because it'll start looking like my watch over time. The 5th edition has the same steps on the lugs, and that's really the biggest like feature change, would you say, on between 4th edition and 5th edition is the steps on the lugs. And how did that come about? Because didn't you like mess something up on the machine and then like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, that's cool?
Yeah, a while back, a case got messed up and it came off the machine almost looking like that. And it made me want to do it in an intentional way and see what it would look like because it kind of looked cool.
Yeah. The happy accident.
And
right?
this just happened to be a really good application for that. And I think it just came out super cool. We ran a bunch of different cases and did a few different versions of it. But yeah, the steps are purely an aesthetic feature, but I think they really make this version distinctive from the past models.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar in design to the 4th edition and the last special edition that I'm wearing. The other thing that you changed was the crown and like having the case tube visible, right?
Yep. So the crown itself looks really similar. What we changed is the case tube. And if you notice on RT's model, it's hard to see, but there's a small gap between the bottom of the crown and the outside of the case.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I thought it would be cool to have the case tube come right up to the crown, so it's kind of a solid cylinder directly into the case. I think it's slightly more refined and just looks really cool.
Yeah.
Very subtle.
I think it looks great. And it is very subtle. It honestly, I wouldn't have noticed unless I held them up right next to each other, especially on the all black. You can see the case tube just slightly on the special edition because what the case tubes is steel. And so the case
stainless
tube is stainless steel, just like the case back. But it just, I think, especially once that all patinas, it's just going to work so well. So those are the main design changes. The other thing that you probably noticed right away is the red second hand. So when we did red second hands on these special editions last year, just all of us loved it. It was super fun. Kent did such a great job. And I mean, they're all hand painted. Most of the second hands on these were white, like the rest of the hands. But altering that and changing it to add the red second hand was just so cool on this watch. And then we decided to make that a major design feature for Colorado Watch Company and all those watches. And so when we were talking about it this year, to make the 5th edition really stand out, because it looks similar. If you recall the 1st edition and the 2nd edition, those were all black as well. We've made several design changes, so it is a very different watch. And this is steel, and steel with a DLC coating comes out a little more matte black, which I think is awesome. It works so well with this. But to further differentiate, the red second hand really makes a big difference. So I'm very happy we did it, and it looks so cool with the red stitching on that strap from Greg.
Yeah, some of the pictures William showed us today with the red strap just look amazing.
We were all just like putting wizard and magic emojis on there. Like, I mean, man, it's cool. So hopefully you guys are just as excited about this as we are. Again, we're doing only 20 of the 5th edition for $8,000 a piece. And then we will do 10 of our 2023 special edition with Mokume bezel and crown for $12,000 a piece. And that is the military edition lineup for November 11th, 2023, which again, just one more time for the people in the back, Veterans Day, November 11th, 12 p.m. Mountain Time. Go to vorticwatches.com/military and you'll see links to buy these. You can also go there right now and sign up for our waiting list. And on our waiting list, you'll be able to receive an email right at 12 noon. I personally send that myself. In that email, you'll have a link directly to each one of these products. You can just click the picture of the one you want. So if you want it, you want to make sure you get it, get on that waiting list, vorticwatches.com/military.
These watches also come with a second strap. Both of them also come with a green canvas strap.
Yep.
Still U.S. made, handmade in Utah.
Yeah, shout out
Greg
to
Stevens.
Greg Stevens, thank you. He's made all of our military edition straps.
Yeah,
awesome.
The straps he makes are...
I mean, look at this. Like, look at that.
The quality is pretty unbelievable.
Insane, yeah.
So we've been really lucky to have him as a partner for the military edition straps.
And both of these watches work really well with the green too. We put them on these, and these will probably be the straps we feature them on, like on the website and stuff. But everyone loves a good, standard military green canvas. So last thing we always want to mention is $500 from the sale of every single one of these watches goes to the Veterans Watchmaker Initiative. which is a school in Delaware. If you haven't heard of it, the Veterans Watchmaker Initiative is a school and a nonprofit that teaches U.S. military vets how to become watchmakers. The world needs more watchmakers. We need more watchmakers. We're always trying to find some. We're always trying to hire some. And they're obviously doing a great thing, and a great thing for our U.S. military vets. If you're watching this and you served our country, thank you so much, especially if you are still serving. Thank you very much. With that, like I said, $500 from the sale of these watches goes to the Veterans Watchmaker Initiative. And then we also use the sale of these shirts to further support them. You can find these shirts on the website. We're considering, right now we use a print on demand service. We're considering buying a bunch of them and just having them more easily available on our site. So if you want one of the shirts that Tyler and I are wearing, comment under this video and let us know, and we'll try to make them a little easier to get. And with that, definitely also comment under this video if you have any questions about this year's military edition, the Veterans Watchmaker Initiative, all the stuff we do, Mokume, how that works, all that kind of stuff. Please put your questions under this video here on YouTube, or send us an email at info@vorticwatches.com, and we'll help you out. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
That's the military edition. 2023, the 5th edition, the special edition. Only 30 total watches this year. November 11th, 12 noon Mountain Time. Don't miss it. VorticWatches.com/military. We'll see you then.